On a beautiful sunny day in Rome, thousands of believers gathered at St. Peter's Basilica for a grand ceremony. The vast square was packed with people from all over the world, all eagerly waiting to see Pope Francis. But today wasn't just about the ceremony, it was about an unexpected encounter between a young girl named Maria and the Pope. Maria was only 10 years old, but she carried an unshakable faith and determination beyond her years. To fulfill her dream of attending the ceremony in Rome and meeting the Pope, she had to overcome countless challenges. Coming from a poor family, she had no money for the trip, but her faith and perseverance became the driving force that helped her push through every difficulty in her daily life. She started working hard to save up. Every day, Maria woke up at dawn to help families in her village with small tasks, picking fruit, cleaning houses, and taking care of animals. The work was tough, especially in the scorching heat of southern Italy, leaving her exhausted. Her small hands were bruised and sore from the hard labor, but she never gave up. Every little coin she earned only strengthened her resolve. On rainy days when outdoor work wasn't possible, Maria found jobs inside people's homes, cleaning, washing clothes, and doing whatever chores the adults didn't have time for. But no matter how hard she worked, the money she saved never seemed enough to cover the long and difficult journey to Rome. Still, Maria refused to give up. She knew that if she didn't keep trying, her dream would remain just that, a dream. Some villagers, touched by her determination, offered small donations or simply words of encouragement. Their kindness gave her hope and reminded her that she wasn't alone in her journey. The day finally came. Maria could hardly contain her excitement, but getting close to the Pope in such a massive crowd was no easy task. St. Peter's Square was overflowing with people, all eager to see him up close. Being small, Maria had to struggle through the packed crowd, inching her way forward. At times, the waves of people pushed her back, but her resilient heart wouldn't let her stop. She kept moving, eyes locked on the Pope. Just when she was about to lose hope, a group of people noticed her determination and made way for her. In that moment, she realized that sometimes challenges in life are just tests to teach us persistence and resilience. Then she saw him. The Pope, someone she had only ever seen on TV, was right there. Pope Francis, with his kind eyes and warm smile, waved to the crowd. And when he spotted Maria, a small girl with long dark hair and bright eyes, he stopped. Instead of standing high on the platform as usual, he stepped closer, humble and approachable. Their eyes met and he gave her a gentle nod as if he recognized something special in her. Unable to hold back her emotions, Maria pushed through the crowd and stepped closer to the Pope. Her heart pounded as she stood before him. She looked up at him with eyes full of faith, the same faith that had carried her from her distant village all the way to Rome. Taking a deep breath, she asked, "Holy Father, why do some people have to suffer? Why does God allow poverty, injustice, and pain? I'm just a little girl, but I want to know, is there hope for those who are suffering?" The square fell silent. Pope Francis looked at Maria for a long moment, his eyes filled with kindness and understanding. He stepped forward, lowering himself slightly so he could meet her gaze. He didn't answer right away, as if he wanted to fully take in the weight of her question. Maria waited, her heart full of anticipation. These were the questions that had lived inside her for so long. Finally, the Pope smiled, a gentle yet knowing smile. His voice was calm but firm as he spoke. "Maria," he said, "you have asked a question that many people around the world are also searching for. Pain is a part of life, but it is in suffering that people find the strength to rise. God does not create suffering, but he gives us the strength to overcome it. Each of us has the power to do something, no matter how small, to help heal the world." As his words filled the air, a deep silence spread across the square. Every eye was on Maria, who sat quietly, absorbing each word. The crowd said nothing, but their expressions were full of emotion, as if they too were searching for answers to the very same questions. when the Pope spoke of suffering as a part of life but reminded them that love and faith could help them overcome any hardship. Many in the crowd felt a strange sense of comfort. Some couldn't hold back their emotions, their eyes welling with tears. The atmosphere was filled with something powerful, an unspoken understanding. The elderly, those who had endured years of struggle, felt a weight lift off their hearts, as if their pain had finally been acknowledged and shared. The younger ones looked at Maria with admiration, inspired by the strength she carried, by the unwavering faith in love and kindness that she held in her heart. The Pope's words weren't just teachings, they were a force pushing them to live better, love more, and face life's challenges with courage. For Maria, his words were like a warm breeze, easing the doubts in her heart. But she knew her question hadn't been fully answered. A deep uncertainty still lingered inside her. Yet, in the Pope's gentle gaze, she felt something new. A glimmer of hope, like a small light shining at the end of a dark road. "Thank you, Holy Father," Maria whispered, her eyes brimming with tears. She didn't know what else to say, but at that moment, she no longer felt alone. The Pope had shared with her something deeper than words, something that could only be felt in the heart. After that brief but profound conversation, Maria felt as if the world around her had changed. She understood that suffering and injustice couldn't be solved overnight, but she had realized something important. Change begins with each individual. As the ceremony ended and the Pope returned to his papamobile, Maria stood still, watching him go. She realized that this journey wasn't just about meeting the Pope. It was a step in a much greater journey, one that wasn't just about finding answers, but about how she chose to live, love, and face challenges. When Maria returned to her village, her heart was filled with inspiration, but change didn't happen right away. She started small, quietly helping the poor, sharing food, collecting old clothes to give to struggling families. But skepticism from the villagers was inevitable. Many dismissed her efforts, saying she was just a naive child who couldn't possibly make a difference. Still, Maria didn't give up. She kept going, even when faced with whispers and doubt from the older villagers. She began organizing community gatherings, encouraging people to help those in need. Slowly, through patience and sincerity, she convinced some to join her. They saw how her small acts of kindness made their own lives feel more meaningful. Real change, Maria learned, didn't happen overnight. It came from persistence, from pushing through struggles, and from believing in the power of love. Throughout it all, Maria kept thinking about her question to the Pope: why was there so much suffering in the world? Every time she looked at the people in her village, she remembered his answer: change begins with each of us. The world was full of hardship, but love and small acts of kindness could still make a difference. One morning, as she was helping a poor family on the verge of losing their home, an elderly man from the village approached her. He was someone who had rarely taken part in community activities, but today he stood before her with a rare smile. "Maria," he said, "you've changed our village. You've helped so many people, and you've made me realize that even at my age, I can still do something for others. You've taught us that it's never too late to start doing good." Maria felt warmth spread through her heart. She knew she couldn't change the entire world, but she had made a difference in the lives of those around her. And that, she finally understood, was what Pope Francis wanted her to realize. Love and sacrifice weren't distant ideals, but simple actions in daily life. And they had the power to change everything. A year after her special meeting with the Pope, Maria had grown so much. She had done many good things for her community, small yet meaningful actions that made a real impact. But in her heart, she never forgot Pope Francis, the man who had inspired her and helped her see that no matter how small she was, she could still make a difference. Then, one day, Maria received a special letter from the Vatican. It was from Pope Francis himself. My dear Maria, I have heard about the wonderful things you have done for your community. You have become an inspiration to those around you, a shining example that love and hope can change the world. I am very proud of you. Never forget you are never alone on this journey. God is always with you, and His love will guide your way. As Maria finished reading, tears rolled down her cheeks. She wasn't just touched by the Pope's kind words, she was moved by the fact that he had truly seen her heart. A deep sense of strength and gratitude filled her. With renewed faith, Maria made a promise to herself. She would keep going. She wouldn't just change her small village, she would share the message of love and hope with as many people as she could. Maria's story with Pope Francis didn't end with that one meeting. It became a lifelong source of inspiration, pushing her to continue making a difference, one small act of kindness at a time.